Cherry Purls podcast. This is going to be episode 77. We are a knitting and spinning podcast coming to you from right outside New Orleans, Louisiana, and we are so happy that you're here with us today. So I am Robin.
I'm Mary.
You can find me as Teenybutton on Instagram and Ravelry, and my Teenybutton studio as my Etsy shop where I sell hand-dyed yarn.
I am Snippin' Full on Ravelry, and on Instagram, I am Cherry Purls Mary.
And we have a podcast group. It is called Cherry Purls Podcast, and it is on Ravelry. It's also linked in the down bar below, and that's where you can find the show notes, as well as links to everything that we're going to talk about, our giveaway threads, our knit-along threads, all that good stuff can be found in the Ravelry group. So that, again, is linked down below in the drop bar. We had some people, for our giveaway that we're about to announce the winner for, some people entered on YouTube. I don't know if we were clear or not. You have to enter on Ravelry. You can't enter on YouTube. So, unfortunately, the people who entered on YouTube were not eligible because you asked me in the Ravelry thread. So, I don't know if we were clear on that, but
yep, we were.
That's where we draw the winner from. So, unfortunately, that is the case.
But some people may post it both places. We don't know.
Yep. So, we did draw a winner for our 1,000 subscriber giveaway. So, we'll show you all the prizes.
Here is the bag that is in our giveaway. It is a Knitting Necessities bag by French Supply Company.
I always want to say French Field Company, but no, it's the Supply Company in the Field bag.
Then there is a Needle Cozy by Whimsy Stitches Designs. A pair of Knitter's Pride Zings, and this is a size US 7 32-inch cord. A cute little sheep pencil. And then I am donating a set of stitch markers of the winner's choice. And
I will be dyeing a custom skein of yarn. So the winner who we are about to announce, get in contact with me. And we can discuss if you have a photo, like a photograph you'd like me to pull colors from. Or if you want colors inspired by your pet or your child's favorite colors. Or, you know, however you want to do that, we'll have a conversation about it. So get in touch with me. So that's going to be dyed on my MCN base unless you have another preference. So,
ready
to announce the winner?
Yeah, go ahead. Anyway, we drew for a winner.
The winner was number 43, who is Losha G, who is Layla. So congratulations, Layla.
Congratulations, Layla.
Whenever you see this, please get in contact with me, and we can discuss your yarn, what base you want it on, what colors you want it on, and what kind of stitch markers you want.
And then get in touch with me and let me know which type of stitch marker you want. I showed them last podcast, but they're either the wired stitch markers, the little solid ring with a bead, or the lever back.
With the lobster claws?
With the no, the lever back.
Oh, okay.
Not lobster claw. And you'll let me know which of those you want, and then I also will need your mailing address.
Yes, we will.
So congratulations to Layla, and we want to thank all of our wonderful viewers. We're just beyond thrilled to be able to share our fiber love with you, and we're happy that you are interested in sharing it with us as well.
There were some interesting responses. The prompt was, what would you like to see from the podcast? A lot of people wanted to see my dye studio. I'm just going to say here, I'm probably not going to do that because it's really, really messy.
Dyeing is messy.
And there's dye everywhere, and, like, I'd have to deep clean it to make it presentable. And also, it's in the corner of the garage, so it's not very well lit, and it's not, you know.
It's not fancy.
It's not fancy.
I mean, it's in a garage.
But you know what? I'm lucky to have it in the garage, because before I was dyeing in the kitchen of my apartment, so.
Yeah, and it's someday, whenever you move, she may have a dedicated dye space. I mean, right now, I don't know if you could say the garage.
It's a dedicated space, but it's not a professional. I mean, it is a professional setup because I'm, you know, that's my job. But
it's not your dream dye spot.
Yes.
And someday you're hoping to have a dream dye studio. So
I just like some air conditioning, to be honest, because you can't have a fan out with all that powder, like, pointed at you while you're trying to dye with powders.
Yeah, there are fans in the garage though, which is unusual because we didn't have fans in the garage before, but they are away from where you're dyeing just because of the nature of the dye powder. Yeah. We don't want that going.
I'm fine right now because it's cold, but like in the summer, it is brutal.
But I think that is the nature of dyeing, though, that it can get hot.
But the AC is nice.
Yeah,
if I was dying inside.
But I wasn't paying to AC my garage.
That's
not happening.
That's fair, I suppose.
Yeah. So,
but I appreciate everybody asking, for a look at my dye studio, because I know it comes from, y'all really curious and interested in my process. So I really appreciate that.
They follow you on Instagram. You have shown snippets of your dye space.
Filthy snippets.
Yeah, and really, to be honest, what is filthy or dirty?
It's dye. It's dye everywhere.
It's just the tabletop. You have you're working on maybe a 9x12 table.
Oh, not even.
Yeah, it's not 9.
It's a 6 foot. Yeah.
Yeah. So what? 5x6? 5?
No,
wait.
Those math skills. It's probably 2x6. It's a table and it's messy. Is the point.
English was my strength. Yeah, maybe a 2x6 table, and then on top of that is the tablecloth. So the tablecloth is. It
started out cream, and now it's black.
Rainbow.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, it's not a really big dye space, and because it's not a really big dye space, everything's kind of concentrated, and what's concentrated is the dyes.
Yeah.
And so that is why.
But
she has shown little snippets and things on Instagram. So if you're interested in just seeing it, it's really not all that interesting to be honest. Yeah. I mean, maybe one day you can show a picture of just like a shot from the garage door.
Yeah, we have another giveaway to announce.
Yeah, so we're moving off of that, I guess.
Yeah, we're talking about how dirty my dye space is. So we have another giveaway to announce. It's not on here, so you're going to have to add it later.
Okay, you didn't tell me about this?
I did, but we didn't talk about it lately. Mina Phillip, who you may know as the Knitting Expat.
No, we didn't talk about this lately.
Not lately.
So
we'll do it now, and we'll draw winner next time.
Yeah, she told me. I forgot. It's been days.
So Mina Phillip, who is the Knitting Expat, has recently published 2 different collections, or she's doing like a release of each new pattern every
kind of like how she did with her sock club last year.
Yes, it's a club. It's the Cozy Sock Collection and the Wanderlust Sock Collection. And Mina has generously offered to give one collection to us to give away. So she has really kindly offered to let the winner pick which of the 2 clubs they would prefer. One of them is, I think it's the Wanderlust one, I'm not sure which one is which, actually. One of them is more for beginners, and one of them is more for intermediate.
I remember her talking about that.
Yes, unfortunately, I can't remember which one is which.
But they're both clearly delineated, I'm sure, in her shop.
Yes.
And you can go and read the descriptions.
Yes, and the first 2 patterns, the first pattern for each collection is already out, seeing as it is the beginning of February. So she will let the winner pick which collection they would like to do.
All right, so we'll open a thread.
Yes.
In the podcast group, and they'll need to answer the prompt. How about which one will they choose and why?
Yeah, which one will you choose? And also, I'd like to know, if you want to add this, what is your favorite sock blend?
Oh, that's interesting.
You prefer 80-20?
I love 80-20.
I like 75-25, but I also really love BFL more so than the Merino lately. Mm-hmm. So I'm curious to see if y'all have a particular wool that you like, if you really love the softness of Merino, or if you like having more nylon for durability, or, I'm just curious. You don't have to, write us a novel, but I'm curious. So.
Do we want them to answer that, or do we want to just have a poll?
Let's put a poll. That'd be fun.
We can do a poll. So, yeah. So we'll do both. How about we'll put a poll in, and you'll tell us what kind of blends you want, and we'll put all the choices in there. And then also we would like you to answer
which collection you
choose. So to be entered, they just need to tell us what collection.
Yeah, you don't have to vote in the poll.
Yeah, I don't think the poll necessarily will tell us, because I have never done a poll as an administrator, so I'm not sure if the poll will actually tell us who's responded, but I don't want to make anybody jump through 2 hoops. So how about if we'll have the poll up there. We would love to know your answer, but the actual enter into the contest would be, which sock club would you choose and why?
Yes. So rules, you have to post. We need 1 post per thread. Please, no double posting. And you must be a member of our podcast group to win. And thank you very much to Mina. We really appreciate it. We met her in December when we were in New York, and she is amazing.
Oh, she is absolutely amazing.
She has amazing patterns. She has her mix and match cardigan out, which is on my to knit list. But she's a very talented designer, and we are very thankful.
Very sweet.
Yes.
So we will run this until next podcast.
2 weeks from
2 weeks from yesterday, because we usually podcast on Friday. Today's Saturday.
Yesterday was the opening ceremonies, and
we were kind of caught up in the opening ceremonies again. But I'm not sure of the date, but I will post the date in the giveaway thread. So if you're interested in the exact date, head over there to see what it is. But it will be 2 weeks from today. Today is February the 10th. So I'm not going to do math and embarrass myself.
24th.
I'm guessing it's the 24th. But just in case, check in the thread to be sure. We'll lock it that day sometime. And we'll announce the winner of that giveaway on our next podcast.
Speaking of actually nothing, I have no segue. I don't know what I was thinking. We have a knit-along. I don't know what I was thinking. We have a knit-along. I was thinking of speaking of 2 weeks from now, but it's not. We have a knit-along that's ending on Tuesday. So we will talk about that now, even though I don't have a really good segue.
2 weeks from now on Tuesday,
I don't know what
off with the sound too.
I don't know. I don't know what's going on. It's today's a goofy day, I guess.
Yeah.
We are hosting the crew of Yarniest Cal. We are hosting this in cahoots with the Sunshine Bubblegum ladies, who are Lynn and Jenna. So thank you for co-hosting with us, ladies. We are hosting this in conjunction with the Mardi Gras season, which unfortunately ends on Tuesday. Dad always tells us the story of how he used to cry sometimes whenever Mardi Gras was over, because he had to wait a whole year to go to the parades again.
Yeah, but he paraded hard. He back when he was little, they had parades just about every single night of Mardi Gras. And they lived close to a lot of routes, so they would hit multiple parades on school nights.
So don't cry whenever this cal is over. It'll be back next year.
No, we will definitely do it every year. This is our second year. Next year, we are definitely planning to do it again.
Yes. So it is not too late to enter. The threads, words are hard, the threads will close on Tuesday night. Basically, you have to knit with purple, green, or gold yarn. It has to be a completed project, and we have weight and yardage, weight requirements and stuff, which is listed in the Ravelry group.
And whips are counted, so if you're almost finished with something and you want to enter it and it has purple, green, or gold yarn or colors in it, and we're able to tell that it's a purple, green, or gold color, then go on over there and enter.
And we're not too harsh with the gold. If it's yellow, that's okay. We had a little bit of confusion with this. We have the chatter thread, and then we've linked to the Sunshine and Bubblegum group. They have the FO thread.
Correct.
So you need to post in their FO thread to be eligible for the FO prizes, which will be the physical prizes.
Yes.
We will also draw prizes from the chatter thread.
So if you don't finish anything, you're still eligible to win, because we will choose from chatter.
Yes, and we will be drawing prizes, and they will be drawing prizes from the same thread. So make sure to go into your FOs.
Got lots of chances to win. How about that?
Yeah, you're going to win some stuff, hopefully. So we have a lot of finished objects, a lot of chatter. Somebody did a sweater. Yeah, go for it. Get it.
Yeah, there have been some really beautiful, beautiful projects that people have worked on. And 2 people have enticed me to buy yarn. I'll show them later and throw me something, mister. But I am always inspired by what people are working on.
We have ready to move on from that?
Yeah.
Okay. We have a coupon code from Kath Thorley. It's good for 20% off of her patterns with the code CherryPearls20. So as usual, thank you, Kath. That'll be good through March 2018, which is next month.
God, it seems so long. It would seem like forever when she first gave us that code. But that's almost over.
Yeah. And I have a little PSA I'm going to put up here. I think I mentioned it last week, but I can't remember exactly where, so I'm just going to put it at the beginning, so, just in case anybody missed it. We are going to be at the DFW Fiber Festival again this year. We've been for the past 2 years. This is going to be our 3rd year, but this time I am vending, and I have a booth helper. So we're going to be there. I think I did talk about this. I think you're right. I couldn't remember it. But we're going to be there, so if you want to stop by, I don't know the booth number or anything yet.
No, that information hasn't been released to the vendors.
But if you want to come, it's a ton of fun. If I wasn't vending, I would still be going as a participant, as an attendee. There are some amazing classes. Franklin Habit is giving the Friday night talk. Stephanie Pearl McPhee will be there. Leslie Ann Robinson will be there, who's knit graffiti. She has some amazing patterns. She did the Sizzle Pop shawl. She's teaching a class, huh?
Yeah, brioche.
Yeah. So it's going to be lots of fun. The people who put it on are some of the most amazing people.
Fabulous.
And we love them, and we love the Fiber Festival. There are tons and tons of vendors this year.
Well, it's even bigger than it's been in the past. They have increased the space, and they are actually going to bring in a fibratorium. Am I saying that
Fibratory.
Fibratory,
Yeah.
Sorry.
So it's like a testing area.
Yes, and also they're going to try to focus a little bit more than in the past on spinners and weavers. And so they're trying to, because a lot of it is focused on knitting and crochet, but not so much on the spinners and weavers, although we do see a lot of spinners there every year. Not so much weavers because, the spinners already are carrying around all those wheels. Weavers much more so, but so it's going to be really cool. They're going to have, I think, 2 places where you can hang out and knit. It's just going to be absolutely wonderful. Awesome. I'm excited about it.
Yeah, so if you're in the DFW area, or if you want to fly in, there are people come in from all over the country.
Yeah, if you're looking for a really good fiber festival to go to.
It's very laid back.
Yes.
It's not like some of
the ones, drama.
It's not some of the ones that you see where like you're packed elbow to elbow. There's space.
No, there's plenty of space. There's a lot of people there because there's so many wonderful vendors, but you're not crawling all over people. Some get slammed in the beginning, but even those, as time passes, you're able to get in and out of the booths and see everything. I think it's fantastic. Yes. I love it.
So if you are going to be attending DFW and you have something in particular that you want to see in my booth, please let me know. I've already had a couple of suggestions from people who are going, and I really appreciate that. So please let me know if there's something you want to see. Okay? So now we're ready to move into FOs. So you have a couple?
I do.
You want to go first?
Sure.
Okay, go.
So the first thing I have is what I'm wearing. This is my On the Spice Market.
Beautiful.
By Melanie Burke. The yarn that I used is...
You take it off, or are you just going to leave it on?
I'll take it off. Is a, let me find it.
What? Party of 5?
Fur?
Sweet Georgia?
Yeah, but I was trying to find here we go. The bear is a 70-20-10 cashmere silk, merino silk cashmere blend, and a bear color. The gold right here is pollen, but it's hedgehog fibers sock in pollen. And then the other colors are Sweet Georgia Party of 5 in English Bay. So I really, really enjoyed knitting this shawl. It was on my to-do list for many, many seasons. And I decided to, when I decided to do the craft bingo this year, I said I'm gonna knit a shawl by Melanie Berg, and this is the one. Well, to fill that square, I wanted to make sure that I forced myself to do it because I knew if I was knitting anyone by her, and I've knit quite a few, it was going to be this one. And I really love how it turned out.
Yeah.
I talked about it last time, about the modification I did in this section with that stitch that she has you do. And that worked out really well by having the extra yarn over that you drop to give you a little bit of extra room whenever you have to do the make 3 from 3. And that worked out really well. And I love it. I think that it's definitely... going to go into rotation as one of my favorite shawls.
It's so chunky. It's squishy.
It is. It's very squishy.
Yeah.
And technically it would count for the Croonie Yarnies cow because I have purple, green, and gold in it.
Yeah.
So, yeah. So this is my finished
project. I have a question for you.
Yes, ma'am.
How many grams was it?
I do not know off the top of my head. I do have it in my progress notes. I know what the total... I did not weigh the bear section, but I do know the weight of all of the colored yarns, and then I just subtracted what was left and made that into a bear. So, but I do know what the total weight is. Why?
I'm just curious, like ballpark, it's like
I have no
150?
idea. No, I think
more than 100.
I think it's closer to 2 than it is to.
I was just curious.
I think it's closer to 2, but I'm not positive. But I do know I have it in my show notes.
Yeah.
In my show notes.
Project
in my
page.
project. On my project page.
Yeah.
For sure.
I like this texture pattern.
Now that's something, that was a modification I did as well.
Really?
Yeah, that's not the way it's supposed to
Oh,
be.
I like it.
Yeah, originally there's just a single line of the bear in between the colors, but I wanted more of a pop in between the colors, so I added 2 rows.
That's interesting. One's a slip?
They're both slips on
2 slips and then a...
and then just a regular.
Interesting. I really like that.
Yeah, so.
Look at you go.
So I'm happy with it. It turned out really, really well, and I would do it again.
It's very graphic.
Down the road.
Yeah.
I like a nice shawl with color.
Mm-hmm. So I have a shawl. This is...
Speaking of shawls with color.
I know. Look at that segue. I got that segue this time. This is my Patronus shawl, which is...
How beautiful.
A pattern by Madeline Windsor.
This one has a very interesting shape.
Yeah, and actually, I was thinking about this. I'm not sure if I love this shape.
But you know, you could pin it out into any shape you want to.
Well, it's got points, like on the bottom.
Yeah.
Like, I like having a big point in the front. I think asymmetrical, like side to side, is really the style that I like the best. But I think this is one I would wear more if I had a shawl pin. So I might go look for a shawl pin on Etsy. Mm-hmm. But I really loved knitting it. Pretty. Yeah, you start on this end. Wait, what? Oh, you said it's pretty, and I said yeah.
No, you pushed it this way, and my head was caught in the middle, and I was trying to pull my head back. No, that's okay.
That happens a lot.
That's okay.
We're hitting each other all the time.
That's okay.
So you start at this end, and it kind of starts out like the Find Your Fade. And then you do some creative shaping. I like the stripe section. And I really love how Lockhart knit up. Lockhart is the light blue. And then the Night Bus is the purple. And I really love...
Lockhart and Night Bus played very well together.
I think so too. I
think they were nice friends.
Yeah, I have enough left over. I could do a pair of socks.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, I think if I did it again, I would not stop increasing. Because you stop increasing to make this like parallelogram shape on the bottom, like the
straight part.
The straight part. I think I would just keep going. Maybe.
Just and keep going to the this point like a here. Point.
You would make like a
to correspond with this point.
Yeah.
And then decrease back down.
Yeah, and that would use up more of the yarn too, because I think I had 80 something grams left or 70 something grams left, which is fine, and I'll use that yarn to make socks. But I would rather have had a bigger.
I love this stitch in here.
I know, isn't that amazing?
That is cool.
The lace.
Look how that looks.
Yeah, it's very cool.
It's nice and graphic, and it's not the usual. Hey, let's just do a bunch of yarn over knit twos.
Yeah, it's got like a punch. I really like it.
Yeah.
So, really enjoy it. I definitely want to get a shawl pin because I think it looks nice draped like just over my shoulders, but I don't ever wear shawls like that. I usually wear them like bandana style, like you're wearing yours. But because it doesn't have a point, it kind of crumples up a little bit. But if I had it like, I could do something like this and then pin it. Maybe not like that, but y'all get the idea. Like, pin it here so you could see, like, you could see the thing and the other thing. You could see all the stuff.
Well, you have you have more opportunities.
It's not so squished up and you can't see what's going on.
Well, with a shawl pin, you can wear it, I mean, like way off center, and it's still going to stay on. Yeah. As opposed to, pretty much it needs to be centered or one end's going to flop off the end. But if you've got a shawl pin, then you can, be as creative as you want.
Do they make Harry Potter shawl pins?
Oh, Does anybody know? I'm sure they do.
I'm going to go look after we finish filming because I'm kind of curious now, like a bus shawl pin or like a magic, because it's the Night Bus. I mean, a bus is kind of a weird thing to put on a shawl pin, I guess, but like sparkles or a wand or something. But I enjoyed knitting it. I had
maybe a magical night bus.
A magical night bus shawl pin. So I really enjoyed knitting it, and I love the colors together.
I think this turned out beautifully.
I did too. I actually, not to toot my own horn, but I'm a fan of these two together. So this is actually going to be a shop sample.
So now you got me thinking of tooting some boots.
Toot some boots.
I toot it.
We're a fan of RuPaul and for tooting and booting every time. But since this is probably gonna be the one that goes on my mannequin at the show, I think getting a shawl pin will help show it off.
I think you need it for you don't want people to accidentally pass by it and it falls on the floor.
I have to buy a shawl pin. It's a necessity. Yeah. So I enjoy knitting it. I enjoy knitting it. it came out just like I hoped. So
Perfect. Like Pearl.
perfect like Pearl. You got another finished object?
Yep. I've got some hats because the Cal is started up for SSK, which I will be attending. And so I've started working on some hats. This is just a basic hat.
You love that yarn, huh?
No, I hate this yarn. But I'm using it up. I can't remember what this is. Let me find it.
It's horrible. Not
it's
really.
Not that it's horrible. It's wool-like and charcoal. It's a loops and thread yarn that I got at Michael's. It is a very soft yarn, but it is fingering, and I am not
Fingering hat
a
person.
big fan of fingering weight hats for donation. Let's make that clear. I'm happy to make a hat for donation, but I don't want to knit on it forever. So I did actually hold this double, and I had a lot of it left, and so now I'm finishing up the yarn by holding it triple in another hat.
It's interesting because you don't see a lot of fingering weight yarn at like big box stores.
No, and that was one of the reasons why I bought it, because I'm like, oh, well, this is interesting.
Yeah.
And it is an acrylic, so it's perfect for gift giving if you know that the recipient isn't going to
hand wash.
Maybe hand wash, or you don't even know who the recipient is. But yeah, I don't think I'll be buying this yarn again unless I'm knitting for someone who specifically requests it, and it's somebody I love a whole bunch. Then I have two other hats that I've knit. Both of these are obviously smaller hats. This is one of the hats I talked about I think in our end of the year review, we talked about hats that it was in the Knit Life survey, where patterns that you've knit more than once. I love this pattern. It's the Waffle Hat by Gail Babel, and so I was almost finished with this one, I think, last week, and I finished it. This was in Charisma. No, wait, that's not right. I don't have it written down.
You sure that's not Charisma?
No, this is not Charisma. This is Charisma.
I thought Charisma was the one that changed colors. Maybe not.
No, this is Charisma. Did I talk about? I may have talked about this one last week. Now that I think about it,
pointing with the.
It may have been. So usually, whenever we podcast, after we finish, we put things away. But then, if we haven't talked about it in between podcasts, it goes on a certain table. But I may have put this on the table so I could remember to take a picture of it for my project page. So I could have talked about this last week.
You're having deja vu if you've seen this before.
I don't have it in my show notes.
Yeah, so hat deja vu.
I'm thinking I already showed you this one. But anyway, it's still the waffle hat. And I knit a second waffle hat. This is the one that is in Charisma. It's in dark purple. It's a loops and thread yarn. It's, little baby hat. And so it's part of the SSK Cal that they're doing. They're doing hats for charity, and you can do newborns to adult sizes.
Cool.
So that's 3 hats for that.
Yes.
I'm done.
Cool beans. I'm done too. So I just had one finished object.
Oh, okay.
I do have a half object. Should I roll on?
We'll roll right into works in progress.
Yeah. So this is my half object for this week. Ta-da!
I love that yarn.
London House yarn. This is her Yule Ball colorway. And your girl needs to get some more because this was a joy to knit up. I love this base. It's her 80-20.
See, I told you. I love it.
Yeah, I'm coming around to it. Really, I am.
I don't know what it is, but I love an 80-20.
London House yarns. And Yule Ball colorway. My hands are covered in dye.
Now, this is your yarn for the...
No. It came with a mini skein.
Oh, it came with a mini? Okay.
Yeah, Yule Ball. So this is what it looks like in the cake. I love self-striping cakes. Like, I like seeing all those colors together.
I do too.
And then the mini skein is just a black. Just a plain black. And this is how much, oops, there goes the tag. This is how much I have of the second sock. So, a decent amount. This was my in-between project.
So they're not matching?
No, they're not matching. I ended it because it's an 8, yeah, I think it's 3, 4, 5, 6. It's an 8 stripe repeat. So I added 4 stripes.
So you're 4 stripes into the next.
Yes, that is the correct thing that I was trying to say.
Because the next repeat starts here with this tan color.
Yes.
That's where you are right there.
And I started with the gray.
Yeah.
I ended with the red and started with the gray.
Yep. That would make
sense.
So,
they are mismatching, but in a intentional way. And I like doing that. It won't do it with this one, but whenever you have uneven stripes and you do it like that, if you have an odd number of stripes, you'll get the same stripe lining up. The middle stripe will line up, and I like whenever that happens.
Mm-hmm.
So that is my project. That is my only. No, that's a lie. That's my first sock whip. I cast on that's a lie. I cast on 24. I increased to 68 every other row, and then I just knit. This is a Fish Lips Kiss heel because that is objectively the best heel for me. And I did a 2x2 cuff. Ta-da! Okay. I think that's a 20 row cuff.
Yeah.
Either 20 or 15, but I think it's 20.
Looks more like 20.
Yeah. I don't ever count.
This looks good.
Yeah.
That's what I do too.
Well, I don't.
Looks good.
Yeah. I'm like, it's close enough.
Well, you typically fold them in half. Is that how it works?
Yeah. I fold them in half, and whenever I get to the toe increases or toe decrease section, that's where I start the cuff.
So she folds them in half.
Obviously, it's not an exact science because that's not perfect this time, but.
Yeah, but you basically get to about right here, and then you start.
Yeah.
But on this one, you wanted a little bit deeper cuff.
Mm-hmm. It's really scientific. I fold it in half.
There's nothing wrong with folding it in half. It's a length you like.
Yeah. So that is my first sock whip. And this is the only one I'm doing toe up right now, which is crazy. I'm going to talk about that in a second, but I've blown my own mind with the one I'm going to show you in a second. So that's my first sock whip. This is like my travel knitting, my hashtag Little Vanilla sock that comes with me out, to restaurants and in the car and stuff.
As opposed to my little vanilla hat.
Yeah, little vanilla hat, little vanilla sock.
Yep, we're vanilla when we're out.
Every girl needs a little black dress, and every knitter needs a little vanilla sock.
Or hat.
So, we didn't talk about this.
No, I was going to do it in the 30-something.
Well, that's why we did not talk about it.
You can talk about it now.
I'll do it later. You want to show up, or you just got
I
one?
only have the single.
Okay. So I will show another whip. I will show the one I just talked about, because that's the one that I grabbed. So this is living in my Kiki's delivery service bag that I showed y'all last time.
With Gigi.
And I had a lot of people ask me where they can buy this, and I don't know if you can buy it online, unfortunately. I got this in Epcot in Disney World.
In the Japan pavilion?
Yeah, in the Japanese pavilion. So I have no idea if you can buy it online, but it's really cute. Love Gigi. He's so cute. So this is my second sock whip. And you may notice something different about this sock. Do y'all see it?
But Robin, where's the toe?
I have never in my life knit a top-down sock. I have knit.
Do you want to put it on this?
Yeah. Oh, you can do that with top-down ones. I mean, you can do it with toe-up too, but like, I'm just so tickled. Y'all have no idea. I can't. I'm really surprised. I've knit tons of socks, and I've only ever knit top-down, toe-up. And I told myself...
But you did it like once.
I did it once, and I got to like the beginning of the heel section, and it didn't fit, and I got discouraged.
You said, I can't even, and that's it.
And I said, well, that's just not the way I like to do it, and I like toe up better, but I didn't really know what I was talking about. I just did it because I was scared. Scared of top down. And I'll admit it now. I'm a better person than... I'm a big person. I'll say I was afraid.
I was scared.
Yeah, and for a long time, I'm like, I'm not afraid. That's just not the way I do it.
I just choose not to do it.
But yeah, I was afraid. So, Helen Stewart...
That's me in a sweater.
Helen Stewart came out with her Handmade Sock Society, which is like her sweater society, shawl society, but with socks, obviously. So this is the first pattern. This is the Winter Rose socks.
Look how pretty that is.
Yes. And that's a progress keeper from the Gnome Knitter. Don't look at me. Look at the sock. Look at the sock. There we go. So, obviously, it is knit top down. And it has a heel flap and gusset, which I have technically done toe up, but I don't think it works the same because I never picked up stitches. But I'm going to find out. I'm done with the heel flap, so I need to turn the heel and then pick up the stitches, which is a little intimidating, but I'm sure I can do it because Helen's patterns are very well written. So the yarn is Teenybutton Studio Tough Sock, and I was trying to decide between this color and a skein of Sweet Sparrow that I had. And I picked this one because if I screwed it up, then I could always replace it. So
that's, nice. That's always how
I was
you
scared.
Choose yarn.
Y'all don't even know how scared I was.
I
was really worried.
If you're thinking you're going to mess it up.
Yeah, well, I mean, it's yarn. You can't ruin it unless you cut it, really, or tangle it, beyond repair. But it's kind of like if it doesn't fit or if it doesn't work, then I can use it as a shop sample or something.
But there are some yarns that don't frog well.
That's true. But this is my tough sock. It is on my BFL, 80% BFL, 20% nylon. And this is a new colorway for this week. This is called Bacchus, which is named after the crew of Bacchus Parade, which rolls
tomorrow night.
Rolls tomorrow night.
Tonight's
Endymion. Yeah. Yesterday was Orpheus over here. What was the other one? What was the one in Metairie?
There's a lot of them. I don't know.
I'm just trying to remember what the one last night was.
Philip would know. Dad would know.
We almost went, but then we decided not to because driving across the lake in the dark and it was rainy and it's been wet. And
I just really don't like to find parking places when there's mobs of people.
Yeah.
So
anyway,
it's easier to sit home and watch the Olympics.
That's true.
Because I love me some Olympics.
We're fans. We're going to talk about our Olympic projects in a second. So, so that's my first winter rose sock. And the pattern is extremely well written, as is the case with all Curious Handmade patterns. Not a whole lot to say. I did a twisted rib, which the pattern calls for. I've knit exactly to the pattern thus far.
No mods, huh?
No modifications. And I will say they top-down socks photograph extremely well. Because y'all know that's something that I care very deeply about, how something photographs. Excuse me. But,
you got the hiccups.
I do. Slip stitch heel flap. And I'm really enjoying it. I kind of felt like I was knitting a mitten.
Yeah, it almost
this
is
would
like
be like a great mitt pattern.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm really enjoying it. I'm really surprised. I'm not as scared as I used to be. I'm a little intimidated by the picking up stitches and the gusset and stuff.
But once you finish the heel, it'll be smooth sailing.
Yeah. It went really fast too. Yeah. I watched what did I watch? I don't remember what I was watching.
Something on
I know what I'm watching. I started watching Crafts from the Third Floor with Tracy of Nora George, and I love her. She's so funny.
That's what you were watching.
And so I watched all of her back episodes. I'm almost caught up, and I knit the sock. So that's how long it took me.
There you go.
And I worked on some other stuff too. But I really enjoy her podcast. If you haven't checked out her podcast, you should, because she's really funny. And her yarns are amazing. I wish she lived over here or I lived over there so shipping wasn't so expensive. But
well, there was somebody who had them. Is she selling anywhere?
I need a yarn mule. I don't think so. I need somebody to like fly over to England and pick them up for me and then bring them back. So if there's any volunteers, let me know. But she's super talented.
I'm sure you'll be flooded with offers.
Oh yes, she was great company for knitting these socks. So
good,
super cool,
excellent.
Should I go again? Because I have 2 more.
Well, you said we're going to talk about our Ravelry projects.
Go for it.
Later. I only have one project right now on the needles, so this is my only Ravelry discussion.
Show the bag.
This is in my bag that I bought from Little Skein and the Big Wool for the Summer Olympics 2 years ago. So this is my official Olympic bag. If anybody comes out with a Winter Olympic bag, I will snag that up. But for now, this is my only Olympic bag. So
I put my Ravelinix pins on mine. Would you do that, or you don't want to get them caught? They're kind of heavy.
Yeah. I probably will leave them where I have them. I've got them actually on a chair that I use to take to events.
Yeah.
So just moving them back and forth just for this. I'll probably just leave them where they are. But I have entered, right now I've got projects set up for a couple of events, but I'm actually only participating actively in one. And it is the sock event. I can't remember what it's called. Sock something. That's kind of
Sock toss?
No, that's something with an S. But this is the
sock skating.
I don't know if it's sock skating or shawl set.
I don't know. Sweater skeleton. I know that.
Yeah,
because that's the one I'm doing.
Yeah, I don't remember. Anyway, it's the sock event. And
triathlon
starts with an S.
That starts with an S. It's gonna kill me.
I'm
gonna find it because it's killing me that I don't know.
Anyway, for the 50th time, the pattern that I'm doing is called Bow Ties Are Cool, because I am a member of Team TARDIS. The white line across here is a lifeline that I've put in because I'm not, what?
Sock hockey.
That starts with an S. Okay.
It starts with an S.
I was wrong.
Shawl skating. Is that what you were thinking of?
I knew something with S and S, and I usually do shawls.
Yeah.
So that's
what you had in your brain.
Yeah. I was wrong. So sorry. Anyway, so I have a lifeline in here because the pattern tells it got a small, medium, and large size, but it doesn't really explained to me anyway, in a way I can understand exactly what size I need to be knitting. So I did the medium size just in case it's not big enough. I'm going to, I can go ahead and tink back, back to the lifeline.
These are 1.5s?
These are 1.5. She does have hers knit on a 1, but I just wanted to be sure because it is where it has, it's a free pattern on Ravelry. It's called Bow Ties Are Cool by Mandy Harrington. It's a top-down sock that I'm knitting toe up because the pattern of the little bow ties can be reversed, so it really doesn't matter which way they're going. But because it does pull the fabric in a little bit, I want to make sure that it's the right size. That's why I put the lifeline in. I think it's going to be the right size, but I really need to get further into the pattern to see because obviously I know the toe's going to fit because there's no patterning there. But I do 2 socks concurrently. I don't do them on the same needle. So technically they're not officially 2 at a time socks because most people think of those as all being on the same needle. So I've always knit them 2 concurrently, but I'm only really working on 1 sock until I know how it's going to fit, and then I'll catch this other one up.
That makes sense.
The yarn that I'm using is Sweet Georgia Tough Love Sock.
Who got you that yarn?
Cherry. I received this from Robin for Christmas.
Somebody was having a fantastic D-stash, I'll tell you that. I got it for a really good price.
And so it's the perfect color because Doctor Who bow tie was red.
And David Tennant's sneakers.
Yeah.
His Chucks.
Yeah, but Bow Ties Are Cool is referring to Matt Smith's stuff.
Whenever I see that color, that's what I think of.
Sure. So. Well, everything should be about David Tennant, but in this case, it's really officially not about David Tennant, although it could be brought around to David Tennant if I tried hard enough, as Robin showed us that we can. Yeah. But that is my only project right now. I have 2 more planned, one which I will do tonight because all I have to do is frog something. So I can
That's the easiest one.
I can do that while I'm watching figure skating.
Yeah, we have it recorded. We're gonna sit down and knit and watch figure skating. It's gonna be awesome.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. So this is a really cute bag. So
from Little Skein and the Big Wool. Yep. I'm not sure if she still has them.
I would doubt it since this is obviously a summer thing.
But it is an exclusive fabric for her, I think.
Yeah. And you have one too. But
I do. My project doesn't fit in there anymore.
So anyway, that's the only thing I'm working on right now.
Yeah. So mine is not in my Olympic bag because it does not fit.
You have outgrown it.
I have. It's been a day and a half and I've outgrown my little bag.
Her project is much bigger than mine.
This is a bag that I'm using for my sweater. I got it from an owl crate that I subscribed to in December maybe. And it is from a company, as most things are. Oh, here we go. Okay. Bookworm Boutique. I think they have a Society 6 or a Redbubble or something. But it says, "Don't let the muggles get you down." And it's Ron Weasley's quote. And on the back it has a big lightning bolt scar. So, I don't have a project bag big enough for a sweater at this point. I did order one. Because
that's what's in there.
Yes, it's a sweater. I haven't shown it yet. It is a sweater. I did order one, but I don't think it's going to get here in time because it's coming from the UK. So, I am knitting my campsite cardigan, which is a pattern by Alicia Plummer.
Look how beautiful this is.
Oh, excuse me, I had hiccups
Look how
today.
Beautiful.
And I'm in the middle of a row because that's how we roll apparently. So this is how much I have so far. Maybe this is even better than I'm in the middle of a row because you can see it like sweaterish. Like that's how it's going to hang. It's rolling because I don't have the edging on it yet.
Stocking it rolls.
Yes. So
just trying to unroll it down a little bit.
I think I'm 8 rows from putting the sleeve stitches on waste yarn, which is fantastic. So it's really flying. It's a DK weight. This is my Squish DK base. And the colorway is Butterbeer. And it's blowing out really bad.
It's better right there.
Yeah, and it's actually very tonal.
I love the beautiful tones that are in that.
Yeah, you can see that pretty decently. But it's very much a tonal. There's the odd little tiny brown speckle. So, I am not alternating skeins. Even though I probably should. I dyed this yarn and I know they came from the same dye lot. But you still should alternate your skeins because not every skein gets the same amount of dye even within the same pot.
Well, yeah, you have that. You've seen that happen lots of times.
So, do as I say, not as I do.
I was getting ready to say that.
Yes. My Madewell cardigan, which I wear sometimes, it's the dark blue one. I did not alternate skeins for that, and it turned out fine. But still a good idea. It's not a ton, extra.
Well, that being said, if you knit it and you notice an obvious difference, you would rip that back and start alternating.
I would over dye it. That's what I would do.
Well, I was going to say or
over dye,
because you are the dyer, you could dye some more. That's why normal people, everybody but you, needs to alternate skeins.
Yeah. No, I should alternate skeins too.
Yeah.
Don't listen to me. I don't know anything.
When I eventually get off my fence and start on my sweater, I will be alternating skeins.
That's a good idea. I always alternate skeins on every project. Do it.
Don't be a Robin.
Don't be like me.
I'm
living dangerously, and I know the risks. I signed the waiver. I know going into it.
Where is it? I want to see it.
I'm just lazy.
Where's that waiver?
I think I will, since I'm getting to the end of the first cake, I think I will start striping, actually, once I get to the end of the next row and I'm on a right side row again.
Oh, so we're going to start
I think, well, no, because I'm about to switch. And I don't think this one has quite as much of the, well, no, it has a little bit of brown speckling right there. But you should always alternate your skeins. Just do it. Do it, people. You got to do it.
Don't be a Robin.
Don't be a Robin. So this is a fantastic pattern. Alicia Plummer's patterns are amazing. I had this pattern. I got it for free because it was included in the End of the Wool giveaway goodie bag. So like that makes it doubly awesome. Cause
I didn't get that code. I was bummed.
No, you did get that code. We traded. Yeah, we traded because I had a Casapinka one.
Oh, that's right.
That's
right. Yeah. I really wanted a Casapinka one bad, and you really wanted that one bad, so we switched. I take it back.
Yeah. So the fact that I can use something I already had, like a pattern I already had, makes it doubly awesome.
That's part of my craft bingo this year is to knit certain number of patterns that are actually already in my library.
Yes. So cool.
That was the Spice Market.
Oh, good. You got a darn one for sales.
Yeah, but I can't use that for 2 squares.
No. So,
but yeah,
awesome pattern. It's a very concise pattern. I think it's like 4 pages, including the one that's like mostly images. So it's pretty short for a sweater pattern. So go, Alicia, saving some trees. So
that's a good thing.
That is my Ravel Olympics project. It is for the sweater skeleton. And I am in team We Got Potter, which is the Harry Potter team, which is awesome. There's some good chatter going on in there, so that's exciting. And I have one more whip. Should I go?
I'm done.
Okay. So this is in my kitty cat bag from Lynn at Sunshine and Bubblegum. And then I put my little Simba pin on here. I got him in Disney World.
Simba.
He can't wait to be king. He's dancing. So this is my, almost at Exploration Station. This is my Half Moon Oracle. Thank you.
That way it doesn't fall off.
Yes. So last time I think I was at the end of this brioche. So I did all of the lace, all of that brioche, and then started the next bit of lace. So that is how it looks so far. This is actually the top, but you know how it is. So my yarns here are all singles. This is Stranded, come on, dude. Stranded Dye Works. Stranded Dye Works Solo in her Hazardous colorway. This one is Dream in Color Jilly in Get Down Greeny. And this one is Teenybutton Studio Solo in Dementor's Kiss, which is actually true to color because it's dark. So
doesn't get blown out.
Nope. So that is where I'm at. This is a pattern. This is the Half Moon Oracle Shawl by Kristen Lair.
Of Volenvine.
Of Volenvine in the Yarngasm podcast. And it's awesome. It's really enjoyable. I will put a disclaimer right here that these projects, like next time we record, we will probably only have like 2 whips.
Well, you will for sure because you're trying to crank out a sweater in 17 days.
So you probably won't see this again for a while, just saying. But it is beautiful. It is a joy to knit. It's really fun. It's potato chippy. And I really love the the tonality of the green. So, really enjoying it. It's going to be bright and neon and kind of Stephen West-esque. And I like it.
Goes with your cactus.
It does. It goes with my little cactus progress keeper. So that is my last whip. And I think that concludes our whip portion of the event.
Works in progress. I've been told.
You have any stash? You have a lot of stash. Look at you go.
I have a bit.
I have a bit too, but you go first.
Okay. I'll start with this one. This is a skein of yarn that I got for Christmas that said ordered it online. It came from Russia and it just came in.
Russia? That's cool.
Yeah. It came from Wool Silk Lace on Etsy. And I'm not sure what the colorway is.
This is right here.
Oh, sorry. Fireworks.
This is Night Fireworks.
Night Fireworks. Thank you. It's on her glitter sock base. And so it is nice and sparkly, as you can see. And it's all sorts of beautiful colors of the night and fireworks. And I have no idea what I'm going to do with it, but it is absolutely beautiful. And so, yeah, it was a Christmas present that came in, and it was a nice surprise.
It's nice to get Christmas presents in February.
Mm-hmm.
It's like the gift that keeps giving.
Actually, I think it came the end of January. Okay.
So I have some stash to show this week. Last weekend we went out with family to go eat at Middendorf's, which is it's not in Ponchatoula, is it?
No, it's in Manchac.
So while we were there, I noticed that Danielle of Nocturne Company just had her update. And so I did some mid-restaurant, mid-meal yarn buying. So this is a skein from Nocturne Company.
That's beautiful.
And by the time I got to her update, she had sold out of a lot of things. So this was a colorway that she saw, and I immediately thought that Larry would love it because his favorite color is purple, and it's also very manly. It's very, moody, and not that he's moody, but it's more masculine than a lot of colors.
Well, yeah, it's not pink.
Yeah. So it has a little bit of purpley.
Yeah.
Pink. So I showed it to him. I said, if I bought this, would you want socks? And he said, sure. So he was actually wearing his Leia socks today. He sent me a picture. But he is, he's very deserving of hand knits. And traditionally, he gets a pair of socks for Christmas. In the past 3 years, I get him a pair of socks for Christmas.
That may be his Christmas socks?
This may be his Christmas socks. I might do the Buzz Lightyear socks, but maybe that'll be for his birthday or something. Because his birthday's in September, so I have some time. But I'm thinking of a pattern to do for these. I think I want to pattern these and not do a vanilla sock because all he has are vanilla socks right now. So I might do a top-down sock.
Seeing how much you like it?
Yeah, the thing about top-down socks that excites me the most is that there are so many patterns that I love that I haven't been able to do because I can't really convert them. But now, like, a whole new world opens up to me.
It opens up all socks.
I'm so excited. Y'all have no idea. Like, I'm not a chicken anymore. I'll actually knit socks top down. I don't know why I was so worried, but I was. So, anyway. Gorgeous yarn from Danielle. I love Danielle. I love her dyeing. She is amazing. So, super happy to have this. And the colorway, I don't know if I said, the colorway is Memento Mori. And it's on her Faunus sock base, which is her 80/20 BFL. Gorgeous. Amazing. So, that is my first. Throw me something, mister.
Cool.
Ready?
So we had talked about how the wonderful people in our crew of Yarniest Cow have been talking up a storm in the chatter thread, and we had one person who knit a project in this colorway, and I saw it and I felt that I needed to have it. This is Lolo Did It, and this is on her plush sock base, and this is Purple People Eaters.
Oh, I know you bought that.
Yeah, because I'm thinking that she bought it because she's a Vikings fan. I bought it because I am an LSU fan.
You got your shirt on?
Yes.
Where? LSU.
This way. Yes. So anything purple or gold, I will be all over it. So I had to have that. And while I was on there, the other thing that had to jump into my cart was, see if I can get it to show up, Hippo for Mardi Gras 2018. So I had to have me some purple, green, and gold.
Yeah.
For the hippo in the Mardi Gras. And I think it will be fun. I don't know if I'll save it for our crew of Yarniest Cow for next year or what. But I just thought it was adorable and knew that it had to come home with the LSU skein because, we had to be all about Louisiana. Yeah. This was like my Louisiana package. So
So I have another piece of stash that has been thrown my way this week. I ordered this back in like November, and I forgot about it. And then one day, well, no, I didn't forget, but like I forgot that it was shipping now. I'm like, oh, it'll ship eventually. And then I got a shipping email, and I like got so excited because it's my brand, La Bien-Aimée. And this was their Rhinebeck colorway they did for Indie Untangled this year. It is Autumn au Rhinebeck. Don't know if I said that right. French is not my strong suit, but it's on the Merino singles base. They offered it on singles or DK, I think. So I went ahead and I got it on singles.
Because you love singles.
Because singles are my favorite. I will not use them for everything, but for shawls, they are my favorite. So I'm thinking a really big
something
textured or eyelet shawl. Not a Pebble Beach. There's one I have called Folia. I can't remember the designer, but I'm thinking that might be what this becomes. But it is absolutely breathtaking.
It is beautiful. I mean, those micro speckles are something else.
And the best part is that I didn't have to pay shipping from Paris. So
you just paid shipping from New York.
I paid shipping from New York, and I'm sure shipping was included. You know, the cost to ship it from Paris was included in the cost, but in my mind, I'm like, oh, I didn't have to pay shipping for international shipping.
But because it was a pre-order, you divided the Paris shipping by multiple orders. So it wasn't as painful.
They have, I don't know if I talked about this. I can't remember if I talked about this just with you or on the podcast, but they have a colorway they're doing pre-orders for the Interpretations Volume 5.
You did.
I talked about on the podcast?
Last time.
Oh, okay. Well, I want it, but I'm not going to get it.
Really?
Is the gist. Because I just can't justify shipping.
Oh, yeah.
It cost like
you've done
$30 to ship.
You've done it once, and it was painful.
Yeah, it cost €23 to ship. I can't remember what that is in USD, but it's not.
It's just not what you want to pay.
Yeah, it's just not in my budget. And I have a pretty significant yarn budget, but that does not include shipping.
Well, you want to spend that money on yarn, not shipping.
I could get an extra skein with that money, so.
At least.
Yeah, unfortunately. But whenever I can find it, in America, or, shipping it from somewhere that's not 23 euros.
Yeah. Well, you happened upon the yarn over at
For Purls,
for Purls. So, I mean, if you find it at a U.S. shop that you're in, or maybe somebody at one of the fiber festivals that we're going to attend will have it, you're going to pounce on that.
Y'all got to get on it. Get some La Bien-Aimée and then hit me up because I'm coming for you. So, what else you got?
This last bit right here is a beautiful new colorway.
Oh, yeah.
That Robin dyed this week. And this is my color. And I knew I had to have it. You've got, I work for yarn. And so Robin has had me doing some things. Most of the time I'm knitting, I'm winding minis.
Sometimes I'll be packaged.
Yeah. But, so the time adds up. And then so many hours of work, I get a skein of yarn. Yeah. And what's the colorway? Well, you can say it out loud.
Orpheus. I was saying it so you could say it like you knew, and we could fool the masses.
I just said, what's the colorway? Yeah. I didn't whisper it. So, yeah, this is Orpheus. This is another one of the Mardi Gras parades.
That is the parade that rolls in Mandeville. And it rolled last night. We did not go, but we've been in the past.
Yeah.
So. And
I just really loved it, and I have an idea of a skein that I'm going to put it with. It was one of the ones I picked up in New York.
Show it close up.
And I think one of my things to try this year is brioche, and I think I'm going to pair it with that other skein and try some two-color brioche.
You can do it. Brioche is so much fun. I love brioche.
I think
so this is on soft sock, $75.25. But if you want it on, what's the other yarn on?
What other
yarn?
The
other yarn you're going to pair it with.
I think it's the same base.
Okay.
Yeah.
I was saying I could dye it on another color if you want.
No, I'm fine. Base. I don't mind mixing bases.
I do. I don't love mixing bases.
Oh, I mix bases. All of this is mixed.
Yeah.
So I'm fine with that. This is 3 different bases.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I'm good. So yes, this is another skein that was thrown to me this week for doing work.
Yeah.
In the Orpheus colorway, and I love it.
We doing the pins?
Yeah. The last thing we wanted to show this week is something that we ordered and it came in. It is a Cherry Pearls podcast pin.
Woo!
So now if you see us in any fiber events, we can give you a pin if you're interested. And yeah, I just thought it would be a fun thing for us to have.
Yeah.
And so
we'll probably include them with like prize packages and
yeah. So we will definitely put one in Layla's package.
Yeah. If you see us and you want one, like in person, and you want one, let us know. We'll try to have them on us whenever we go to events.
Absolutely. So yeah, Cherry Pearls podcast pin.
And our logo was designed by Tiffany at
yes.
Southern Sparrow Handmade.
I was going to say, we
Yes.
really appreciate Tiffany.
And it is
making
gorgeous, and we love it, and we'll stick it on everything.
Yep. So, yeah, that's our last thing to show you this week.
Yes. So, I think that's all the knitting content we have. I'm going to move along.
Well,
nope, I'm not. Lanyap.
Lanyap.
We have a question for you guys.
So this week, since you and I both finished shawls, I was kind of thinking of shawls. And so our question for y'all this week is, how do you store your shawls? Some people fold them up, some people hang them up, and so I'm curious as to how you store your shawls. How do you store your shawls?
I shove them in a drawer. My show samples, I fold up, and I have a special bin for show samples. My personal shawls get shoved in a drawer, or they live on my mannequin, which is usually one at a time. They kind of take turns to see the light of day, but usually they're crammed in a drawer. Suffocated in a drawer.
None of mine are shoved in a drawer.
Yeah, well, I don't have a whole lot of, well, no, that's a lie. I was going to say I don't have a lot of space, but I could make space. But that's just the way I be.
Yeah, my shawls are hung. I have made like a really chunky hanger with using a pool noodle. If anybody's interested in that, I can show it in another podcast. But basically, I cut a length of pool noodle and I put it over the top of a hanger. It's kind of like those padded hangers, but like on steroids.
But with a pool noodle?
Yeah.
Rest in peace.
But it's only on the top of the hanger. And then I hang them on that way. And usually
so they don't get a crease.
Yeah. I have a lot of shawls that are in stockinette. See, if you've got it in garter, it's so squishy, it's not going to show the creases as much. But I have a lot of shawls that are in stockinette, and they will show whenever something has been folded for a while. So typically what I do is I'll kind of act the hanger as a balance, the hook. So I'll hang, a certain amount on this side of the, the triangular top of the hanger.
You just stack them
on this. Yeah, and I'll stack them on top of each other.
It's probably a better way to
do
it.
I really like that method because I can look through them and see the colors.
Yeah.
Like, sometimes when they're folded up, if you have multiple colors, you're not seeing all the colors in the shawl. And so I do really enjoy. It took me a while to figure out how I wanted to store my shawls, but I'm really liking this so far.
Yeah. It's a smart way to do
so
it.
let us know. We'll open. Well, no, we're not going to open up a thread for that. Just let us
in
know in the
show
comments
notes or down below.
Just let us know in the comments, or you can go to the thread for this podcast where we have the show notes and let us know there. How do you store your shawls? I'm curious. Maybe you have a great idea that I would love to borrow. Yeah.
I've seen people, for their socks, they roll them up and put them in the ornament organizers.
Mm-hmm.
I love that idea.
Yeah, that's a really good idea.
Yeah, but, let us know. We're curious.
Yeah. I'm always, open to new ideas.
Yeah.
And I'm happy to give somebody else credit for it because,
Is it like a Pinterest thing you found for the pool noodle?
No, it was just an idea that popped into my head. I have those every once in a while.
I didn't see anything.
Nope, you don't need to.
So,
all right, so we are done with all of the knitting related content.
Yeah.
If you are interested in hearing about the shop update information that Robin always shares at the end, please stick around. If you have someplace you need to go or something else you need to do, we appreciate you hanging out with us today.
Yeah.
And if you're interested, we would love to have you subscribe if you have not done so already.
Yes.
So tell us, did you have a shop update yesterday?
Oh, I did. I did have a shop update yesterday.
Well, funny you should ask.
I had a shop update yesterday. It was February 9th. There's going to be some crinkling, so fair warning.
Yeah.
A lot of things have sold out, but they are going to be back in the shop hopefully soon, so I'm going to go ahead and show them. I'm also going to show what is currently in the shop. So the big ticket item this week was a kit that I did with Lynn at Sunshine and Bubblegum.
Can I show it?
Yes. So this was inspired by Commander's Palace, which is a restaurant. There's a lot
Yeah,
of them.
there's been a ton of famous chefs that have come out of Commanders.
Mm-hmm.
And so, yeah, that Lynn and Robin decided to start with Commanders. I think they made a great choice.
So if you've seen pictures of Commanders, I have a picture on my Instagram, but they have a blue and white striped awning, and the building is blue, and in the windows, there's like yellow lights on the windows. So that was the inspiration for the fabric choice and the yarn. So the yarn is called Brunch at Commanders, and it's white and blue with some yellow golden speckling. Some of the speckles are hidden, but they're in there, I promise. And it also came with a progress keeper.
You got it? This one's slid to the
Yeah,
side.
I have it.
Okay.
Yeah. I have taken my first little steps into clay charm making. So one of the things that they're famous for is a bread pudding souffle. Bread pudding actually came from Louisiana? Came from New Orleans?
I don't know where it came from.
I think it has, but I could be absolutely incorrect and lying to you.
It's served in a lot of places in New Orleans.
Yes.
It's a very popular dessert
Yes,
here.
I'm pretty sure that it was invented in New Orleans. If it's not, then I'm lying.
But it's still served a lot in New Orleans restaurants.
They're famous for a bread pudding souffle. So I've made a little bread pudding souffle charm in like this little tiny ramekin.
Look at those die fingers.
I know, my fingers are like look at that. Yeah, that's my life now. But it's a little clay progress keeper. And so the kit comes with, or came with, I suppose.
So here's a little charm.
Yeah, her Lynn's sock size bag, which fits 2 skeins of yarn. And the yarn, which is on my soft sock base. And the progress keeper. Thank you, Vanna. And there's some tea in the back.
And it's a drawstring bag.
It is a drawstring bag. We're showing you all this now only to tell you that they're sold out. They sold out in like 15 minutes.
But what Robin is focusing on is the yarn you're gonna have.
Well, no, we're gonna have both of these again.
Oh, okay, good.
Yeah, I'm not entirely sure if we're gonna do them as pre-orders for the kit or just do them a la carte. We need to discuss it. But I will definitely have this colorway again, and I have like 10 of these left. So I'll either do more kits or we'll do them a la carte. We'll figure it out, and we'll keep you posted. So they went super quick, so thank you so much to everybody who bought one. They went like 5 minutes, 10 minutes, something like that, which is ridiculous, so thank you. So I'm going to show you a little bit of what is still in the shop. Whoa, this is falling. This week I wanted to focus on New Orleans and Mardi Gras colorways, and there's a lot of new ones. So first, I had the idea to do a solid pack of mini skeins in these really fun jewel tones because I have a lot of colorways that are brights and speckles, and so usually those are the kind of things I like to use for socks, but maybe you wanted a contrast color for, you know, heels and toes. So I have an assortment of solids, jewel tone solids. So this is Bacchus, Caesar, Orpheus, Nyx, and Chewbacchus. And I didn't talk about this on my Instagram, but the intergalactic crew of Chewbacchus is the nerdy parade, like the geek parade. And everybody comes in costumes, and like there's people dressed as aliens, there's people dressed as Doctor Who characters, there's Star Wars, there's Harry Potter. It's like all kind of fandoms you can think of. There's a guy riding a unicycle dressed as a unicorn that comes every year.
Yeah, it's kind of like there are groups of, cluster groups of people. Like there's the Crew to Who, which is the group of people who are Doctor Who fanatics. They all go into this one big parade of people, and most crews have a certain set of throws that everybody throws. They'll have a certain, the parade has a cup, the parade has a doubloon. Mm-hmm. There may be a special bead that is for this year's theme, something like that. But Chewbacca's, everybody makes their own throws or buys their own throws.
Very much a handmade sort of thing.
And
in a lot of
most
ways.
of them are handmade, and you can get some really, really cool things that people will make and throw depending upon what their fandom is.
Yeah. So
Chewbacchus,
that's the explanation for that one.
The intergalactic crew of Chewbacchus.
Yes. Yeah, I saw some pictures, and it looked like it was a lot of fun.
Do you want to mention Nyx? How cool about Nyx?
Ta-da!
Oh, you're going to do it there. Well, never mind.
You want to say what you're going to say
No,
about
go
Nyx?
ahead. You do it.
Well, I don't know what you were going to say exactly.
What they throw.
I don't remember what they throw. I've never been.
You don't know what Nyx throws?
I don't. Tell me.
Okay, so there's there's lots of really cool female.
This is Nyx, by the way. It's on Silky Sock.
There are a lot of really, really cool women's parades, but Nyx is really cool. They throw decorated purses.
Oh, okay. Muses does the shoes.
Muses decorates shoes, and they throw beautiful decorated shoes.
So people are throwing shoes at you all night, basically.
Nyx throws beautifully decorated purses.
I knew that. I just wasn't thinking.
And so some parades throw the general stuff, but what I think is so interesting about some of these parades, like Chewbacca's, Nyx, Muses,
Isis,
they'll throw different things.
Zulu throws coconuts.
Zulu throws their coconuts, and so it's not the general doubloons, cups, beads,
plastic garbage.
Yeah,
it's different garbage.
Especially Nyx, Muses, and Chewbacca's. Because those are all going to be handmade. Yeah. Oh, and Zulu, because those coconuts are also handmade. I just think it's really cool that someone really took the time to spend to actually make these creations.
Things that you're going to throw at a stranger.
Yeah. Pretty cool. I saw somebody in Crew to Who. I'm a member on Facebook. Somebody caught these gorgeous TARDIS high heels. Ooh. They were painted all in this, it wasn't purely glitter. It was, I guess it was an iridescent paint with the TARDIS on the heel, but they were 3-inch heels. They were gorgeous.
They the right size?
No, she caught them. She ain't giving them away.
No, but were they the right size for her to wear?
Oh, yeah, because her friend threw them to her.
Oh, okay, good.
See, that's what's so cool about Mardi Gras. If you know somebody who's riding, they will tell you. They know exactly where they're going to be on the float. And so they'll tell you either
this side or this side, sidewalk side or neutral ground side.
Yeah, so a lot of parades like Nyx and...
We're going on a tangent here, so if you're sticking around for the shop update, just give us a minute to...
We'll get back to it.
Yeah.
So a lot of the parades will go down an avenue. Like St. Charles has got a median down the center, but they only parade on one side. So if you're telling somebody where you're going to be, you're either going to be on the sidewalk side of the float or you're going to be on the neutral ground side of the float.
Which is the median.
Which is what New Orleans people call the median. So... where am I going with this?
You know where the person's going to be on the float.
Yeah. So if you know somebody who is riding, you know which side you need to be on. Well, this girl knew the girl, and the girl was saving these shoes for her because she knew that she was going to be at the parade, and the girl knew, and so whenever she yelled at her, the girl actually handed them down to her in the bag. And
I had a marketing professor who always rode in the Crew de Vue, which is known for being the kind of racy parade.
Yeah, that one actually is a walking parade on Bourbon Street.
Yeah, so that's the one that you don't go to with children.
No.
But she gave people, if they went to the parade and took a selfie with her while she was walking, she gave you 10 bonus points on the exam.
There you go.
I did not go because I couldn't find anyone to go with me, but still fun stuff. So this is Nyx. This, just throw it in there like I always do. If you heard that thump, that was me throwing the yarn in the bucket. This one is St. Charles Streetcar. This is on Soft Sock. This one is a new colorway this week, which is called Endymion. And it is actually based on the Leviathan float, which is one of the floats that they have every year. Was that the one you were telling me about? They have the whale, the alligator, and the Leviathan. Is that the three that they always have?
Yeah.
Yeah, so this is based on the Leviathan, which is actually in Mardi Gras World whenever Mardi Gras is not going on. So if you come to New Orleans and you want to see it, just go take a tour of Mardi Gras World. You can go through a tour, and it's basically where all the floats go whenever it's not Mardi Gras season.
Well, not all the floats, but
the big ones, the fancy ones.
Yeah, some crews will have a float that's in every parade. Like Rex has got this bull, and this has got 3 of them. Yeah. And then all the rest of the floats will be according to what the theme is. But this is one of the ones that's going to be in every single parade.
Is this the one they have like a smoke machine inside of it, I think?
I'm not sure.
I think the dragon actually blows smoke. But this is Endymion.
Yeah, Endymion's rolling tonight.
Endymion's rolling as we speak. It's 9:15. Endymion's going right now. We're missing it.
It might be actually be in the Superdome right now.
Maybe. Next year, I want to plan and I want to find somebody to go with because Larry doesn't like crowds, so he doesn't want to go. And people have to work and go to school. What's that about? That's no.
Well,
we can't be doing that.
Everybody could hit the lottery. We could get rid of that.
That's the plan for next year. Everybody hits the lottery. So this is Endymion. which is a really fun variegated speckled colorway. I wanted to do something Mardi Gras, but not like in your face Mardi Gras. And this is really close to a lot of the colors in the Leviathan float.
It's, yeah, if you look at the picture, I think you have it on Instagram, the picture that you used as your, okay, what's the word?
Inspiration.
Inspiration. I was thinking muse, but yeah, inspiration. You can see all those colors in it.
So this is Endymion. This one is my, I almost want to say Caesar, not Caesar. This is the Bacchus colorway.
That Robin's knitting the socks in?
Yes. So I have this on, I think I just have one left on tough sock and then a handful on soft sock. I have, this one is called Mardi Gras Hangover. And this is a fleeting fox. This was actually, didn't come out exactly the way I wanted, so I over-dyed it and just like threw all kinds of colors on it. So it's kind of how you feel on Wednesday morning.
Well, or very late Tuesday night.
Yeah.
You've had like way too much Mardi Gras and you're starting to feel kind of blah because either ate too much, drank too much, caught too much, had your hand stepped on a ton of time.
2012, I went to the quarter on Mardi Gras night, and we ate at this restaurant. I can't remember what restaurant we ate at. And like I ate I don't know what I ate, but it was not a good choice. It was really heavy and it was hot. And like this is how I felt. So anyway, this is a Mardi Gras hangover. I only have 6 of these and it will not be repeated. And then this is Beignet coming back, making a reappearance. The perfect neutral, if I do say so myself. It is beignet colored. It's getting blown out, but it is beignet colored. Whoa, fell on the floor. And then this is a new colorway this week that I'm absolutely in love with. And after the update last night, there were some skeins hanging around, so I stole 2 of them for myself. So this is called Magnolia Blossom. I wanted some like fancy Southern inspired names. So magnolia is the state flower of Louisiana. So it is a cream base with all kinds of dark green and brown speckles, and it's getting washed out, but y'all get the idea.
Looks like a magnolia.
Looks like a magnolia.
Because if you're not familiar with a magnolia, the top of the leaves are green, but the underside of the leaves are brown.
Yes. So that is Magnolia Blossom, and it will be making an appearance on the podcast in shawl form.
At some point?
At some point. I'm thinking a thalia shawl, but then I also have like 6 other skeins that are supposed to be thalia shawls, and I haven't knit it yet. I have the pattern, but I haven't knit it yet. So I kind of I dyed this to go with these 3. If you wanted to do like a 3-color something.
That'd be pretty in a 3-color cashmere.
I know. It would be pretty in everything. I'm just like, I'm so smitten with this colorway. It's just really outside my comfort zone with these tiny little micro speckles. But I really love it. So this is St. Charles Streetcar, Magnolia Blossom, and Chicory. And I have all 3 of these on soft sock in the shop as we speak. If you like this.
That's pretty.
And if this doesn't go, I might steal this for myself also. This is the hardest thing about being a yarn dyer is not
want them all for yourself.
Stealing everything from the shop.
Well, it's hard living in the house with a yarn dyer because it's like whenever you get paid in yarn, it's like which one do you choose?
Yeah. It's going to be tough for you whenever I move out and like you can come over and it's like you're coming to a yarn store.
That's not going to be hard.
Yeah, but it won't be next door. It won't be next to your room anymore. It'll be on the other side of town.
We'll see.
Yeah. So that is what was in the shop update. We went on some tangents. So thank you if you stuck through that, then we really appreciate it. I know, kind of goofy, but that just is the way.
That's just who we be.
That's just how it is. That's just how it is on this earth. So
is it time for some Olympics?
Yeah, we're gonna watch some figure skating, which is our favorite event. Is that your favorite event?
In the Winter Olympics, I think so. Yeah,
I think it's my favorite event. I like short track, but like the skating is like artistic.
If I have to choose, I love Winter Olympics more than Summer Olympics.
I like summer because I like the equestrian events, but I do really love both.
Yeah,
Larry doesn't like the Olympics. I don't know what's wrong with him.
Well, see, Dad's that way. We went to the Olympics in 2002 when it was in Salt Lake City, and that was purely for me. I absolutely love it. As far back as I can remember, I have always been glued to the TV, during the Olympics. And then once I got back into knitting and I saw they had the Rev Olympics / Revolenics.
Can't call it Rev Olympics anymore. The Olympic Committee will come and get you.
It originally was called that. It is now changed to another name. but
They'll hunt you
I
down.
totally had to be in it just because this, I will never ever be a participant except in my recliner and on my needles.
So, if you watched all of this garbage tonight, thank you. Like, we really appreciate people who stick with us.